Kevin said you were the one who found him. I can't possibly repay you. You're very sweet. I suppose there's no harm in it.
Blech.
Kamusta everyone, and this is Why Play, a series where I highlight, in my opinion, one of the best games ever made, while trying to convince you to play said game, this time featuring Dragon Age Origins, one of the best tactical RPGs of the late 2000s. Like I said, Dragon Age Origins is a tactical role-playing video game developed by Bioware and published by EA. The game was released on November 3, 2009, right after the year they released Mass Effect 1. Now, Bioware's made a lot of different video games in the past, each of them having a considerable impact in the video game community. And much like the games before this one offered something different while simultaneously making it familiar at the same time. Not many people know this, but this game was pretty much a spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights, as an attempt to build a similar RPG experience while feeling fresh and new in the process, and I'm happy to say that they nailed it. The game is crafted almost perfectly as the next generation Baldur's Gate, streamlined and more friendly and accessible to new and casual players. The game also puts a lot of emphasis into world building and the characters that inhabit it, successfully making each area of the game to feel different and refreshing. The characters are believable, the gameplay is well crafted, and the lore around it is thought-provoking, all while keeping the overall story intriguing. Also, much like the Mass Effect and the Witcher series, the game involves molding the world and its story with each one of your actions and decisions that you make while playing the game. Your choices do matter and will continue to matter with the succeeding games. This might be expected towards other games during this video's time of upload, but during that time, that wasn't really the case.
Just not when they caught me is all. Hope that doesn't spoil your opinion of me. I'm still hungry enough to eat my shoe. I expect nobody thought of it with all the battles and such. Because you might want something I don't need. Them circle wizards got a chest they keep things in. Magical things. And I stole the key. That's why I'm here. I got one of them drunk, took his key and tried to sneak to the chest. They assumed I was deserting. I can't use it from here, but I'd trade you for some food and water. I swallowed it, but it's come back into my possession since then, so to speak.
Speaking of story, I'm not going to go over it too much as that would possibly spoil the first hours of the game, but basically, it's your standard good versus evil, you being special, and a race to build an army, again all mixed with a lot of politics, lore that revolves around magic and religion, and a different-ish take on a standard elves, dwarves, and humans. The game is semi-mature, meaning sex, blood, and focus on heavy topics are included, but not in the level of the Witcher series.
The one who repents, who has faith unshaken by the darkness of the world, and roasts not, nor gloats over the misfortunes of the weak, but takes delight in the Maker's lore and creations.
Boasts. It's boasts, sister, not roasts.
She shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction. The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next.
Peace, sister, peace. She shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction.
The veil holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death, for the Maker shall be her beacon and her shield, her foundation and her...
There's no veal in the chant. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you?
Graphics wise, if you're gonna play this game right now, it might feel a bit dated. Unwanted blood splatters occasionally but very slightly hurt the overall cinematic experience. But other than that, the game holds itself really well and it plays considerably good on an old medium end PC. The overall art style is stylized in the dark, although sometimes washed out colors, but it can get colorful when it needs to be and it complements the mood and atmosphere being given by the game. There's also a slight rainy feel to it, but it's so subtle that you're never actually gonna notice it. Sound wise, it's what you would expect from a high fantasy setting. The world is littered with well-placed sound effects in certain areas.
Look carefully, man. This wretched thing is a darkspawn. They're strong and cunning and smart, but don't listen to those old wives' tales. They can be killed. Stick them with your sword enough and they go down. Their blood is black as sin and poisonous. Don't even touch it. You get tainted with that blood and you may as well slit your throat.
You'll hear conversations being made, dances being done, and dogs barking from the distance. The sound design is great and it simulates a world that truly feels alive in the process. Alongside this is some top-notch voice acting. Well, companion-wise.
Just how smart are Mabari supposed to be, anyway? Do you think they understand everything we say? Oh, is that so? You could just be listening to the tone of my voice. You could be an utter moron for all we know. Hey now! There's nothing saying that a moron can't be cute and adorable. Who's the cute and adorable puppy? Ignorance is bliss, isn't it? That's what the Chantry kept telling me anyhow.
Some side characters may sound more or less the same, and the others are not really that memorable. Some are just plain bad, but the weird thing about it is it does not ruin the overall experience, not even a bit. Well, not for me anyway.
The bloody customers are bothering me again. What do I pay you for anyhow?
I have nothing to say about the music except that it's perfect. Now, I'm not saying that it's in the level of Hollow Knight or Persona 5 or this. What I mean is that the music is perfect for what it is. The music behind the game fits perfectly with the game's theme. It's memorable, gritty, and has a religious and archaic vibe embedded into it. It's intense when it needs to be and calming when it has to be. The gameplay is, like I said, tactical. You press a specific button to stop time, assign some actions, and press it again to perform said action. And before you start asking, yes, you can play this in a more action-centric playthrough, but in my opinion, it's just not how it's supposed to be played, and doing so will feel a bit clunky and weird. I highly advise that if you plan on playing this game is that you play it expecting to continually use your head in combat. When it comes to difficulty, it's a bit complicated. If you're new to tactical games such as XCOM or Divinity Original Sin, I would suggest playing this game on normal or easy, as friendly fire on this difficulty ain't that substantial. If you, however, like me, want some decent or dangerous levels of challenge, I would suggest playing this game on hard or even nightmare, as that would pretty much turn off all friendly fire and will make enemies perform more outrageous moves. It might seem unfair at first, but the feeling of accomplishment after every fight makes it feel worth it by the end.
Off I go.
Now, what makes it special? Besides the well-made story or the lore that inhabits it and the world that it's set upon, what really makes this game special is the cast of characters, or more specifically, the companions that you go adventuring with. They are very memorable and all of them are exceptionally well written, especially Morrigan and Alistair.
Look, can we talk for a moment? I need to tell you something. I should probably have told you earlier. Yes, that's right. I stopped you to tell you that I'm an idiot. Whew! Thank the maker you know already. Now I can stop worrying I'll be found out.
Much like Mass Effect, you will occasionally hear your party banter with one another about trivial things like politics, society, and sometimes even you. The character interactions are well done and you really do feel that each one of these characters are real people with real personalities, with problems. Again, all these all backed up with some amazing voice acting.
I'm wondering, Morrigan, do you believe in the Maker?
Certainly not. I've no primitive fear of the moon, such that I must place my faith in tales so that I may sleep at night.
But this can't all be an accident. Spirits, magic, all these wondrous things around us, both dark and light. You know these things exist.
The fact of their existence does not presuppose an intelligent design by some absentee father figure.
So it is all random then. A happy coincidence that we are all here.
Attempting to impose order over chaos is futile. Nature is, by its very nature, chaotic.
I don't believe that. I believe we have a purpose. All of us.
Yours, apparently, being to bother me.
It's hard to give cons about this game that I haven't already said, but if I were to give it one, it would be that the game is super long. The Ultimate Edition with all DLCs and expansions gives you 50 plus hours for the main story and another 20 hours for the expansion and all DLCs, totaling into more or less 70 plus hours. And take note that this is just for one playthrough. You're obviously not gonna experience everything in the game with just one playthrough alone, and adding another playthrough with different choices will equate into another 70-ish hours. totaling into 140 hours. 140 hours into playthroughs. Now, I personally don't see this as a bad thing. I believe that prolonging a game's lifespan while making the content exceptional is really good, but not many people have the time and dedication to put that much time in a single video game. Again, I love that this game is really long, but that's still something to keep in mind for those planning to try this game out. In conclusion, Dragon Age Origins is one of those games that will suck you right in with its detailed lore and semi-mature setting. The world is interesting if not thought-provoking, the characters are well written, and the journey from start to finish is something that you will remember after years pass by. If you're a fan of RPGs, then chances are you will love this game, and that is what makes Dragon Age Origins one of the best tactical RPGs of the late 2000s. And that's it. If I succeeded in convincing you to play this game, please leave a like below. If not, well, leave a like anyways. I'm trying a bunch of new stuff for the channel, and one of those is to branch out into different areas. If you guys notice, my microphone audio is starting to have problems, and that's because it is. I'm planning on buying a new mic, more preferably a condenser microphone. That way I won't have to scream at my microphone just so my mic can pick up my voice. And this also results in me losing my voice multiple times while trying to record. I mean, I could just boost up the signal, but that would also increase the background noise, so I'd rather not let that happen. If you guys want to help me with this, like I really need a new mic, consider pledging to my Patreon. If you can, I know everyone has their own financial situations. If you can't, that's fine, like, it's fine. But if you can, I would really appreciate it, because my mic sucks and I'm losing my voice every time I try to record. It's sad. Anyways, like the video if you don't dislike it, and dislike if you don't like it, share it with your friends, and if you do like it, consider subscribing to the Phantom Heart for more. I'm Sizz, and thank you for watching.